This week's insane AI news: Google spying, Baidu's 1% cost models and more. Hey there, today I'm showing you the wildest AI updates that just dropped. Google's looking at your search history with a scary new feature, Chinese AI models crushing GPT 4.5 at just 1% of the cost, and Notebook LM's mind maps that will blow your mind. Plus, I'll show you how to code entire websites and games without knowing a single line of code. This is the most insane week in AI ever, and I'm breaking it all down right now. Hey, if we haven't met already, I'm the digital avatar of Julian Goldie, CEO of SEO agency Goldie Agency. While he's helping clients get more leads and customers, I'm here to help you get the latest AI updates. So this week's AI news is absolutely crazy. There's a ton of stuff you can try right now for free that will completely change how you work. I'm talking about tools that let you peek inside Google's brain, create entire websites with one prompt, and even build self-playing games without knowing any code. First up, Google's launched new Canvas feature in Gemini. It's similar to what ChatGPT and Claude have, but with some important differences. The Canvas feature includes code preview and makes it easier to work with content. It's only available on the Flash model right now, but it can run Python code, and it's absolutely incredible for coding. I tested the same prompt across Gemini Canvas, ChatGPT, Claude, and Grok, asking each to create a landing page for an AI news website. The results were shocking. Gemini Canvas created a beautifully designed modern website that actually worked perfectly. ChatGPT barely understood the request, Claude made something basic and boring, and Grok's output was decent, but nowhere near Gemini's quality. The craziest thing, Gemini Canvas is completely free. You don't need to pay for a subscription to access these professional level designs. I'm telling you, most people have no idea how good Gemini just became at coding, especially front-end development. Also, Google's Notebook LM also got a huge update with mind maps. Now you can drop dozens of sources into Notebook LM and visualize how all the ideas connect with just a click. This is incredibly useful when you're working with lots of data or trying to understand complex topics. What's mind-blowing is that you can keep expanding the mind map to see deeper connections. None of the major LLM platforms like GPT, Gemini, or Claude have anything like this yet. If you're doing research or need to organize complex information, this feature is a game changer. Speaking of Notebook LM, Google's also added an audio overview feature to Gemini. When you run a research query, you can turn the results into a podcast-like conversation between two AIs. The voices sound incredibly natural, and it's perfect if you prefer listening to reading. Imagine getting a 5-minute audio summary of your research while you're on the go. Next up, let's talk about China's AI revolution, as Baidu models at 1% of OpenAI's cost. Baidu just released two new models, Ernie 4.5 and Ernie X1. Ernie 4.5 is comparable to GPT 4.5, while X1 is a thinking model similar to DeepSeek or OpenAI's O1 Mini. The mind-blowing part, according to their benchmarks, Ernie 4.5 performs on par with GPT 4.5, but at less than 1% of the price. We're talking about 55 cents per million input tokens compared to OpenAI's $40 and 2.20 per million output tokens. That's roughly 1/5 the cost. X1, their reasoning model, is even half the price of DeepSeek's R1, which was already much cheaper than Western models. This continues the trend of powerful, low-cost AI models coming out of China. I wanted to test these models myself, but you need a Chinese phone number to sign up. From what I've seen in the outputs shared online, they're definitely better than GPT 4.0, though maybe not quite at 4.5's level yet. Still, at that price point, it's absolutely disruptive. Claude just rolled out a feature that's been long awaited, web search. This is a game changer because until now, Claude was limited to information up to its training cutoff date. What's impressive about Claude's implementation is that it does multiple searches at once to get comprehensive results. When I tested the same search prompt on Claude and ChatGPT, Claude did 3 different searches to gather more thorough information, while ChatGPT only did 1. I also tested both AIs on a coding task, creating a landing page based on search results. Claude understood exactly what I wanted and created a beautiful, functional website with clear navigation and well-structured content. ChatGPT completely missed the point and just gave me some text about websites instead of actually coding one. It's clear that Claude with web search is now more powerful than ever. It was already the best model for writing and coding, and now, with access to up-to-date information, it's arguably better than ChatGPT for almost everything. Next up, Mistral Small 3.1, the tiny AI that crushes Google's latest model. Mistral, a French AI company, just released Mistral Small 3.1, and it's outperforming Google's Gemma 3 in benchmarks despite being designed to run efficiently on device. What makes this impressive is that it has a massive 128K token context window, it's multimodal, meaning it can handle text and images, and it delivers 150 tokens per second. It's also multilingual and great for programming, reasoning, and visual understanding. I tested it by asking it to create an HTML landing page for an SEO agency, and then to clone a website just from a screenshot. While its coding abilities aren't as strong as Gemma 3 or Claude, it's impressive how fast and capable this small model is. The best part, it's open source and you can run it locally. Just download Ollama and run a simple terminal command to get it working on your computer. This means you can use powerful AI without an internet connection or worrying about privacy. Now let's talk about something that could completely change how you interact with apps and services. Claude MCP agents. MCP servers allow you to connect with applications without having to install everything separately. The normal way to set this up is complicated and technical, but there's now an incredibly simple way to do it using Claude 3.7 Sonnet in Visual Studio Code. All you need to do is install Visual Studio Code, add the client extension, and plug in your Anthropic API key. Then you can go to the MCP marketplace and install servers for services like Perplexity, Gmail, Google Drive, Airtable, Shopify, and more. What's awesome is that Claude can troubleshoot any issues for you. You don't need to mess with terminal commands or complex setups. I tested this by creating a Tesla stock analysis website that pulled live data from Perplexity's MCP server. Claude not only grabbed the data, but built a beautiful responsive website with current stock prices, historical performance, and future predictions. When you combine Claude's power with MCP servers, you can build almost anything. Claude can design beautiful interfaces, browse pages you're creating in real time, and solve problems quickly, which is important when dealing with technical setups. One release you probably missed is Roblox's new AI system called Cube that generates 3D models from text or voice prompts. This is the first time we're seeing generative 3D models integrated into a platform with hundreds of millions of users. Roblox has about 85 million daily active users, with 2.5 million of them being developers creating content within the game. This tool will open up incredible creative possibilities for them. Instead of learning complex 3D modeling, users can just describe what they want, like a red buggy with knobby tires, or a green crystal fantasy sword with gold accents, and the AI generates it instantly. For today's kids and teenagers, speaking 3D models into existence will just be normal. What's fascinating about this is that unlike social media where you're mainly consuming content, Roblox is putting powerful creative tools in the hands of young creators. This could completely change how the next generation thinks about building digital experiences. Pika's object manipulation for videos. Pika Labs is rolling out a mind-blowing new feature that lets you manipulate specific objects in a video while keeping everything else exactly the same. What's incredible is how clean the edits are. The rest of the video stays almost exactly the same, while just the selected object changes. This level of precise control over video generation is something we haven't seen before. This feature is currently only available for their Creative Partner Program, but it shows where AI video is heading toward much more precise control, rather than just generating entire scenes from scratch. Gemini drawing. Turn stick figures into art. Gemini also added a drawing feature that takes your basic sketches and transforms them into much more detailed artwork. I tested this by drawing a simple stick figure, then asking Gemini to make this stick man way more interesting. The result was crazy. It turned my basic stick figure into a fully detailed character with shoes, clothes, and a face with actual personality. This is all based on Gemini 2.0's native image generation update, and it's super fun to play with. What I love about this is how it understands what you're trying to draw, even if your skills are terrible like mine. It's a great way to quickly visualize ideas without needing any artistic talent. Creating games with no coding skills. One of the most impressive demonstrations of Gemini Canvas is its ability to create interactive games with just a simple prompt. Someone on Twitter showed how they created a fully functional Pong game just by asking Gemini to create a ping pong game. I tried this myself and was blown away by the results. With zero coding experience, I was able to get a working game with proper physics, sounds, and scoring, all from a single prompt. The game worked perfectly right away, and I didn't have to tweak a single line of code. To put this in perspective, back in the 80s, a whole team of programmers would have been needed to build something like this. Now anyone can do it with a single sentence. The barriers to creation are completely disappearing, creating podcasts from any document. Another game-changing feature in Gemini, borrowed from Notebook.lm, is the ability to turn any document into a podcast-like conversation. I uploaded my book, SEO Link Building Mastery, to Gemini, and with one click, it created a 6-minute audio overview. The result was 2 AI voices having a natural conversation about link building, referencing my name and book throughout. They broke down complex concepts in a conversational way that was genuinely engaging to listen to. What's powerful about this is how easy it makes content repurposing. You can take any document, generate an audio version, then download it and upload it to platforms like SoundCloud. I did this with an SEO guide, and it already has 188 plays and ranks directly on Google. This is totally unique to Google's ecosystem right now. You can't do this with Claude, ChatGPT, or Grok, and the best part is, it requires almost no prompting, just upload your document and click a button. What this all means for the future. The pace of innovation we're seeing right now is absolutely mind-blowing. Just think about it. In 1 week, we've seen 1, tools that can turn documents into natural-sounding podcasts, 2, Canvas features that let you build websites and games with 1 prompt, 3, mind mapping tools that visualize complex information, 4, Chinese models that perform like top Western ones at 1% of the cost, 5, video tools that let you manipulate specific objects in a scene, 6, simple ways to build AI agents without technical skills. This isn't just incremental improvement. We're seeing fundamental shifts in what's possible and who can create with these tools. The barriers to creation are falling rapidly. What's most exciting is how these tools are becoming more accessible. Most of what I've shown you today is available for free or at very low cost. You don't need expensive hardware or technical knowledge to use most of these capabilities. We're approaching a world where anyone with an idea can bring it to life, whether that's a website, a game, a podcast, or a complex AI agent that automates parts of your work. The limiting factor is no longer technical ability or resources, it's just imagination. How to stay ahead of the curve? With so much happening so quickly, how do you stay on top of all these changes? Here are some practical tips. 1. Test new features as soon as they're announced. Don't just read about them. 2. Try the same prompt across different AI models to compare results. Look for unique capabilities that only certain models have. Combine different tools together, like Notebook LM with Gemini Canvas. Think about your workflow and identify where AI can remove friction. The people who will benefit most from these advancements are those who actively experiment and find ways to integrate these tools into their daily work. Wrapping up the most exciting time in AI, this has been one of the most exciting weeks in AI that I've seen. The number of groundbreaking features and capabilities released in just a few days is absolutely unprecedented. What's clear is that we're no longer in the potential phase of AI, we're firmly in the practical application phase. These aren't just demos or proofs of concept, they're fully functional tools that you can use right now to create things that would have been impossible or extremely difficult just months ago. If you're not actively exploring and experimenting with these tools, you're missing out on a massive opportunity to transform how you work, create, and think. Julian Goldie reads every comment, so make sure you comment below with which of these new features you're most excited about, or if you have questions about any of them. Before I wrap up, I want to tell you about the AI Profit Boardroom. If you're looking to scale your business, get more customers, and save hundreds of hours with AI automation, this is absolutely the best place to be. Link in the comments and the description to join our community of entrepreneurs leveraging AI for business growth. If you're specifically interested in SEO, you can also book a free SEO strategy session where we'll show you how we take websites from 0 to 145,000 visits per month and generate hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales on autopilot. And don't forget to check out our free AI SEO course and join our community with over 3,600 AI SEOs and more than 50 free AI SEO tools. The links for all of these resources are in the comments and description below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video with more mind-blowing AI updates.